Hi guys, I'm Greg from Zoho Expert and I am going to make a follow-up video today on a couple of my other recent videos. So I have made a couple of videos on my YouTube channel about automatically gathering data and documents from your clients. So this video here, automatically request information from customers, shows you how to make a form that can then be emailed out to the client. When the client fills in the form, the data they enter automatically gets fed into your CRM and updated on their record. So step-by-step instructions are in here, and this one is all about getting documents from your clients. So same thing, you send them an email with a link. They click on the link, it takes them to a form. The form asks them to upload their documents. When they upload their documents, the documents are automatically uploaded as attachments in the CRM. That can be to any module, so the deal, their contact, wherever you want it really. So today's video is about the workflows and automating the process of sending out the requests for the documents from your clients. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to do it as a custom module, because that is the most flexible way for you to do this in the future, and it also makes it easiest for you to track what's outstanding and who you're still waiting for documents from. So we're going to start by going to settings, customization, and then modules and fields. Okay, we're going to create a new module, and this is going to be called so this is the plural, so this is going to be called requested documents and requested document. All right, so in here we've got certain things we don't need, so I'm going to just move all this here and I'm going to be calling this useless. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here, these fields we'll keep. Actually we don't need the owner either. So we'll keep the email. I'll show you why in a bit. And then we've got the requested document name. Now that's a mandatory field, so we have to keep that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get a lookup field, and we want to put this through to contacts, because contacts are the people in your system. And basically you will attach the document request to a person, and then you'll say to that person, please provide us with this document. Okay, now in the person, it's going to show a list of all these requested documents. So we're going to call this requested documents, and this is the name of the list that will show on a contact record. So we'll do done. All right, so that you can do so much with this, but I'm just going to do it basic today. Okay, so we're going to do document type, and I'm going to put a drop down list for that, and we'll say bank statements, let's say most recent 3 months bank statements, annual bookkeeping records, let's say credit report. What else might people want from people? Proof of ID, proof of address. Now you could also put in brackets here passport, or driving license, whatever you want, but I'm just showing you the basics. Okay, you can customize and build on what I show you. So that's document type. Okay, so now what you could do is you could also put in here a date time field that says requested at. Okay, and we can put another one here that says received at, and we can have a decision box. So let's now it's not actually a decision box, it's going to be a drop down list, but we're going to call it decision. Now my spelling is not great, guys. Decision. Okay, so this will be accepted, rejected. And maybe let's put in here partly accepted. Okay, done. Alright, so this is just the very basic outline of what we need here. Now, we don't really need an image for this record, and I think that's all we need for now. We can always come and add something extra in when we need to. This is basically saying who in your system can access this record. Now, in this system, it's just me, but if you've got staff members, like in my actual system for my normal business, you know, my everyday business, which is a real estate business, I've got tons of different you know, profiles here. So I've got the management team, I've got the lettings team, the sales team, the administrators. So you could give certain people access and other people not access. What I tend to do is for everyone except for me as the administrator, I give them view access to most records, but not edit access. And then I have blueprints that will, throughout the blueprint, they can then edit the various fields as they need to, because I don't like the idea of a staff member going in there and fiddling around and changing dates and times and things. Anyway, so now we have our field. Okay, so we need to decide the easiest way to make one of these document requests. So what I like to do is go into settings and modules and fields. Now, bear in mind that you can automate this in so many different ways. I'm just showing you one of the ways today, and this might not be the right way for you, but for me, you know, showing you today, I think this is the best way to show you. So we're going to create a button, okay? And in this button, we're going to say request proof of address, okay? Now, what I do in my system is I have a module called company settings, and in that module I have a table of all the different types of people I deal with, and then in that table I've got the type of person, and then I've got all the different document types I want from them, and so I can just add and remove documents from that documents type list, and then my workflows and blueprints send them specific document requests for the specific documents as set up in my settings, but that takes a long time to set up, so I'm not going to make a video about that. I don't think people will watch the whole video. This is to give you a taste of what you can do. If you are, you know, so minded, you can expand on that and learn more and try things out yourself. If you need help with it, get in touch. We'd love to help you. You know, at the moment we're growing our YouTube video, our YouTube channel, so we're not charging people for work. We're just helping people as much as we can. All we ask is that you subscribe, you like our videos, and you comment, and if we can help you, we'll help you. All right, so this is where our button is going to show. Now, I think the best place for this button to show would be on the view page. So when we're inside a contact record, we can go up here and click, you know, request proof of address. And now the action we'd like it to perform is a, okay, so we're going to do a custom function here. So request proof of address. Do you know what? This is not the best way to do this. I'm going to come out of here. If we're just asking for one document, the easiest way to do that would be with email templates. So if we go onto the person and we go onto the template. So we go settings and we look for templates, email templates. We do need to create the record first. Okay, we're going to create the record first. So we will do this via a button. Yeah, I was right the first time. Okay, so we go onto our contacts, links and buttons. Now in order to get the documents Now, in order to make the document, requested document record, that's then going to go off and ask the client for the document, the quickest way I can see for us to do this today is going to be with a button. So we're in settings, we click on modules and fields. Now remember, the requested documents works off of the contacts. So from the contacts, we're going to create one of those. So we go into settings, modules and fields, contacts, and we're going to go links and buttons, and then create first button, or create a button. And this will be request proof of address, and we want this to show on the list page. So that's when we're looking at the contacts like this. Sorry, not the list page, the view page. So when we click into a contact, then the button will show up here, okay, next to the edit button. So we now want to run a custom function when this happens, and this will be request contact proof of address. This name doesn't really matter, but it's to help you understand what your functions do. Okay, so this is what it tells us when it's done. Okay, so I like to say return var, and that's basically an empty var that I can populate. So we start with return var equals error. Okay, so if nothing happens, then it tells us there was an error. Now what we do is we are going to say, when we run this script, we want to get the record ID. Let's call it contact record ID. And we can get that because we're inside the contact record when we click this button. So we can say, oh, this is the contact you're inside. Okay, so now we've got the contact record ID. Now I like to have failsafe, so I always go if contact record ID not equal to null and contact record ID not equal to empty string. So what this is if for some reason we're missing a contact ID, then do nothing. Okay, if it's not empty, then do this. Okay, so if it's not null and it's not an empty string, then do everything inside here. Else we'll say return var equals no record ID found. Okay, no contact record ID found. Bear in mind that this is a simple script, but as you build out your processes and your system, you're going to forget things, and you're going to want like really descriptive errors, and you want error checking like this so you can find problems and fix them later down the line. So anyway, now we're inside these two curly braces, which means we have a contact record ID. So we're inside the contact. So now what we want to do is we want to create a record that is the requested documents, and so what I'll do, just to show you guys the easiest way to find all the variables we need, is you go into settings and you click on APIs and you click on API names, and then you open up the module we're working on. Okay, and these are all the API names for the various fields. So the most important thing is this name, because if we don't have the name, we can't create the record. So I'm going to start now by making a map. Okay, so I'm going to make an empty map called requested document map. Create requested document map. And this is just equals map, which means we have an empty map that we can now put data into. So now we're going to say put, and then we want to say name, comma, and then the name of the record. Okay, so another thing we can do here is let's get this contact's name, contact's full name. Okay. Oh, we can't. Okay, so we'll get first name and last name. So this is just so that we can help make the name of our requested document. That'll help us later, so we're not wondering who all the requested documents are for. Now, if inside your contact you've got some reference for them or some unique thing that you want to include, like for us we use unique IDs, or ticket numbers to link everyone together, you could add that in here as well, and have that be a unique reminder for you inside the requested document item. So we're saying name, and this is going to be the name of our record. Okay, so this is going to be, actually we don't need to say that, we're going to say just the first name, so contact first name plus space plus contact last name. So this might be John Smith, yeah, and then we're going to say plus, and now the type of document requested. So in this case, we're doing the proof of address. So I can just include it in here, proof of address. And there we go, okay. I also like to start things off with, actually that's a bit too complicated, I won't go into that now. Okay, it's difficult because I want to teach you guys everything, but I also don't want to inundate you with information that is going to confuse you or that you might not need. So anyway, so we've got the name, we need a few more factors here. So we want requested at, that's an important one for us to have. So we'll go create requested document map dot put requested at, and we'll say, sometimes Zoho has issues with the time, so we'll just say time. So when you're adding the time to a field, sometimes Zoho gives you problems with that. So I like to just make my Zoho time field. So Zoho time equals, and we want to go current time equals zoho.currenttime, current date equals current time date. There should be time date because it's both. So current time date dot get prefix, because we want the prefix, and we'll do a space, and then current time equals current time date dot get suffix, and that will be the other side of that. And then we want to say Zoho time equals current date plus t plus current time. Now your system might not be funny like mine is, and it might just be my other system because of my date time format or whatever, but I have to do this whenever I want to put a time into a field that I'm updating. Okay, so I'm not going to explain what this is. If anybody's interested, ask me, I'll make another little video about that. So we've got the requested at time, we've got the name, we need the document type, and this we know is proof of address. Okay, and then I think that's all we really need right now. Oh, do you know what we could have? We could have a status, yeah. So let's change the decision to status. Because we want to say requested and then received and then approved, you know? So decision, let's change this to status. And then here we want to say edit properties. So requested, received. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now we'll just refresh our API names. Now I'm going to change the decision to status so that it doesn't confuse us later down the line. You can only do this before you've had an integration with it. Okay, so now we go create.put status, requested Okay, so now that we have our map, what we want to do is we want to create requested document record, and this here is create map, or yeah, create map for record creation, and then this is fill map with data for record creation. And now we want to create the map. So now we can just reuse this name, but instead of saying create requested document map, we'll say create requested document response. So this is the response that Zoho CRM will send to us when we create the record. So the module is going to be requested documents. So if we go back to APIs and we go API names, we can see here requested documents or requested underscore documents. Okay, and now this here is where we put our map. So create, let's copy and paste. So here's our map. Now this is important, and I always copy and paste this because I always forget what it is. So Zoho CRM DELUGE workflow blueprint. Yeah, this bit. Okay, so by including this inside the record, we tell it to trigger any workflows or blueprints or anything that we have set up at the same time. So it's important to have that, because later in your system you might have a workflow or a process based on when one of these is created. So I do that as standard. Sometimes you need to switch that off because it can waste resources, but it really is specific to whatever your circumstances are. All right, so now let's info out our created response just for our information, and then we're also going to say if the response dot contains key, and then the key is going to be modified at equals true. So if this here comes back and says we've created the record and the record was modified at, then this is going to be true. So we'll say returnVar equals successfully created document request for proof of address for, and then we want the contact first name plus space plus contact last name. There we go. Okay, else returnVar equals error could not create. Let's copy this. Could not create document request for proof of address for. There we go. Okay, so this should work, but let's give it a try. So save and execute. So we need to go to our record and get the record ID. Now this is on our contact, by the way. So there's our contact record ID, and our contact's first name is demo first, and its last name is demo last. So I'll just copy and paste both of those. So demo first and demo last, save. See, invalid data, date time. Okay, let's work out why this time isn't working. So let's go info, current date time. Why isn't that working? Okay, so, it's giving it to us in that format. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. What we can do here is we can say current date equals that dot to string, and we want it to be year, month, day, and then this one we just want the suffix. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so save and execute. Because we're still echoing that out for some reason. So we want to echo this out. Let's see if that works, guys. Yeah, that's what we need the time to look like in order for it to work with Zoho. That's good. So let's actually get rid of this because you don't need it anymore. You can just copy and paste my code exactly as I use it if that's what you want to do. So we want to go and get the record ID from demo, and we want to get his name or her name. There we go. And save. All right, boom. Okay. Oh. Okay, where have I gone wrong here? Let's base this on created time. Oh, modified time, not modified at, that's why. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. And before we do that, let's just delete that one that's just been created. There we go, we'll delete this. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So now you can see this, you won't normally see, but it says successfully creates a document request for proof of address for demo first, demo last. That's exactly what we wanted. So now we can get rid of the info statement because that was just for testing. And we'll say if successful, update return var with success message, else show fail message. Okay, perfect. I mean, this should now be pretty self-explanatory to everyone. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to say click here to automatically request or create request for this contact to provide their proof of address. Save. All right, so now if we go to contacts, let's go back here, let's refresh. And we want to delete this again because we will make it again. All right, so now on the contacts, we want to click into this guy or girl. And here you can now see this button that says request proof of address. When we click that, it says successfully create a document request for proof of address for demo first, demo last. We can do the same thing for our other contact, Jack Jones. There we go. Successfully create a document request for proof of address for Jack Jones. Now, when we go to our requested module, by the way, this is bugging me. I just want to move the requested module up a bit because the requested documents module up because it should be much higher. So here it is. There we go. Now it'll show here, so it's much easier for us to reach. Okay, so now you can see the button worked and we got this for each person. So now the next step is to go ahead and create a workflow that when one of these is created, we want to send them out an automatic email. Okay, so the way we do that is we go into settings and then into customization, automation, workflow rules. And here we want to create a rule. And we want to say contacts, not contacts, requested documents. And here I like to call this on create because that's what we're going to do. We're going to say when it creates, on create, requested documents, send email to contact. Okay. Now it's going to be on a record action when it's created, and it's going to be for all requested documents. Actually, let's make a condition here where the document type isn't empty because that will cause problems otherwise. And what we want to do is we want to do an email notification. So we'll call this notification send email to request, or it doesn't even need to say send email, that's pretty self-explanatory. Request document from contact. Or from document request email, document request first email. That's better. Okay, choose recipient. Okay, so we're going to go contact. Now don't get confused. This email, oh God, okay. We're going to go back here quickly. I'm sorry, I watch videos and I get really pissed off when they go back and forth, but I did forget something that's quite important here. So we're going to go back to the back to this button that we have on the contacts, and we're going to just add in the email field that I forgot to add in. So when we're creating it, we want to get their email. So we'll get their email here as well. So okay. And then we want to add it to this map as well. Okay, there we go. All right, so now when we create requested documents, the person's email address should be in the record. Now the reason we do this is I like to keep everything separate because we have a huge company with loads and loads of stuff going on constantly with emails being sent back and forth to people about all sorts of different matters. So I like to know what emails have been sent about the requested documents, and what emails have been sent about their tenancy agreement, and what emails have been sent about repairs. Some people might prefer to have all emails be inside the contact, in which case we don't need to do what we've just done. What we can do is just make our template based on the contact. But I'll show you the two different options. But we're going to request proof of address for this guy just so we've got one to work with. There we go. And now you can see his email address is in here. Okay, so we're going to go back to our workflow. Now, if we want to use that email address, yeah, we select email from here. But I think smaller businesses, it would be better for you to go to contact and then select email, because then you'll be able to see all the emails when you're in here. In here, you'll see all the emails, okay? So we're going to build this based on that. Now you can, and I like to do this, put like backup at Zoho Expert. Don't use my email address. I don't want to get a backup of everything you send. But I like to have a backup email address where I get a copy of everything that's sent to my customers. It's a little laborious. Yes, I get 50+ emails a day extra that I've got to archive through. But I don't do it for everything, but I do it for quite a few things so that I can check, that the automations are working correctly and not spamming my clients. So we've got landlords and we've got tenants and we've got contractors. The landlords are really important. They're our actual clients. So anything we send to landlords, I like to get a duplicate of to make sure we're not spamming them. Okay, so now we need a template. So we're going to create a template. Now, if you've never made a template before, I will make a specific video on this at some point in the future, but I don't think it's the most difficult thing in the world. So I don't think people need that as much as other things. I'm just going to duplicate one that I've already got here. And we must make sure it's in the requested documents. I like to put the thing that it relates to at the beginning. Okay. All right. So now this is just because I reused something here. Okay. So dear. Now we can go contacts and first name. There we go. Or in this case, you could use contact name. So we hope this finds you well. Please provide us with the following document as soon as possible. Okay, and now here we can go requested documents and we can choose document type. Perfect. Now I left this link to my form, and you will watch my previous video to see how to make this form. So we've got the thing that it relates to. So the module that it relates to is requested documents. I think it's the plural, but let's just double check by looking at the APIs. API names, requested documents. Yeah, see, plural. Okay, good. So we go back here. requested documents is our module. Our ID is, now let's make some space, hash, and that is the ID. Now, I'm going to have it attach the document to the requested document module. If you wanted to, you could have this attached to your contact, and then you could put your contact ID here. Totally up to you how you do this. I'm teaching you the framework, and you can work within the framework. Okay, so document type. So here we go, hash type. So you can reuse this template for any document you do. All right, so there's our link. So cut that link out. And here's our button. So firstly, I like to edit the button. So let's make it 14. Let's make it bold. And I like to make it red. No, I don't like to make that red. I like to make the outline of the button red and the text of the button white. I think that that is kind of attention grabbing and people will see that. Okay, I also like to put click here, you know, so that people know exactly what to do. We deal with people who are, you know, English as a second language and maybe people who aren't so bright. So it's a good idea to be able to make things as easy as possible for people. So I also like to put action required in the email subject. So this here is the email subject for your template. So action required, please provide us with your, and then here we can actually change this to document type. Document type ASAP. There we go. And now we can go save, public email templates, save. All right, perfect. So now we have an email template. So we can refresh this and we can say boom, and then you can choose which email address to send from. I normally like to have our help email address or our support at email address, but I haven't set that up on this CRM yet, so we'll just send it from me. Okay, so now we go save and associate. So now what's going to happen is it's going to send this automatic email whenever the requested documents record is created. Okay, now let's test that out. So we'll go to requested documents and delete the one we have. And now we can go to contacts, Jack Jones, and let's ask Jack for his proof of address. Okay, so now if we refresh on Jack, we should see an email. No, and we don't see a requested document either. What is happening here? Well, he's got this. Oh, for some reason it hasn't. Oh my goodness, I'm such a fool. I'm sorry. So I also need to put the contact, which is just absolutely silly. So you see, when we set this up, I forgot to fill the contacts field. So in our custom script for the button, there's, it's a lot of trial and error sometimes, but I apologize. Okay, so we go to our button and we go contacts, links and buttons. Here's our button, edit, change, no, cancel, yes, leave. Okay, edit our function, edit, and we want to just put this here, dot put contacts, and then the ID. So now this sometimes requires you to put a map in there of the person's name and their ID, but I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. All right, so now we go to contacts. Let's do one for demo and request proof of address. Okay, there we go, requested documents. Okay, that worked, perfect. So now if we go to requested documents, let's delete Jack because his didn't actually work because I was an idiot. There we go. And now we go back to contacts, we click on Jack, and we request it from Jack as well. Okay, So now let's see how this looks to your clients. So this is what your clients will receive. This is the email. Yeah, dear Jack, we hope this finds you well. Or firstly, action required. Please provide us with your proof of address ASAP. Dear Jack, we hope this finds you well. Please provide us with the following document as soon as possible. Required document, proof of address. Click here to upload. Okay, so let's open this in a private window. Actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, so let's open it there. And here we go. There's our form preloaded with the module. Now you must check the other video, which I'm going to put a card up for. But you see there, the module is requested documents. The ID is there. The type is proof of address. So now let's give them a proof of address. So let's find my logo. I think it's that one. Yes. There we go. And submit. And now if we go back to Jack Jones's requested document, that was Jack Jones, yes. Oh, no, that was the one we deleted. Okay, so there's the Jack Jones one. And now you can see this has an attachment, and it has an attachment, which is my logo. So there we go, guys. I know that took a bit longer than I was expecting, but I think it's amazing functionality, and I think you can achieve so much with this. In my system, have so many documents that we have to process that we have a completely separate system that I've custom built in PHP coding, and it's a whole separate website, so that we can go through and click approve, reject, and give reject reasons. And it's a portal that our clients log into where they can see like the 15 different documents that we're waiting for and the status of those documents. For the vast majority of people, they either won't have the knowledge to build that, and they probably won't have the need for that. So what I'd suggest you do is have a blueprint here that when the document comes in, you can then come in here and you can have a blueprint that says reject or accept. And then if you click reject, you can have another workflow that sends this email out again and says, I'm sorry, your document's not accepted. Please go ahead and upload it again. There's more stuff we can do. Like, for example, we don't have the received at here happening because of the form I built was not to go into a separate module. It was just to be attached to the contact. But in the Zoho Flow, as shown in the other video, if you wanted this specifically to be for this module, you could also have it update the received at date, and you could also have a change here from requested to received. So that would be pretty easy. I'll show you that actually quickly because I think that's quite valuable. So we go to Zoho Flow. Just bear in mind that if you then try to put this onto contacts, for example, it's not going to work. So this will only now work for this system where we have these specific fields. So we would now go to, oh, actually, we could make it a failsafe here. So we could put a decision in that says if module name equals, so if module name equals, and then it was requested documents. There we go. And then only if it's requested documents, let's update the requested document fields. Update. Oh goodness, I hate how slow this is sometimes. Okay. Okay, so here we want to go update module entry, only if it's the requested documents one. So we'll choose here, we'll say requested documents. The ID is the record ID from here. There we go. And we will change the received at, we'll put that as this date and time here from the system variable. And the status will change to received. And I think that's all we need for now. if you wanted, you can do so much. You can put a note on. So for example, we can say create module entry. Let's just change this to CRM. And you can add a note. And you can say here the module will be the requested documents, and the ID is that one. So note title is document received from client IP, and then you can record their IP address, and you can say referrer, and you can get the document type. This is a good failsafe if you're worried about anything falling through the cracks. And what else have we got here? I think that's all we need for now. Let's do module name, even though we know what these are all going to be. Alright, perfect. So we've got all this information here now. There was something else that I wanted to suggest putting in here. Oh, of course, the uploaded file. And this is file upload, if I remember correctly. Cool. Alright. So add note to requested documents record. Updates requested documents record. I know these things seem like time wasters, but honestly it's worth it, because in the long run, when you're coming back to maintain this later, you really want to know what each of these things does and for which record it's working on. Okay guys, so now let's go back to our mail, and now we'll do this as demo. Okay, no, let's do a new one. So if we go delete, oh, let's check, there we go. Okay, so we're going to delete both of these. We're going to go back to our contacts, and we're going to go into Jack and request the proof of address from Jack again. So now if we go to the requested documents, we can see here that the status is requested and it's received at null, so it hasn't been received yet. We go back to our email, and this should be the latest one. So now it's asking for the proof of address. Let's upload the logo again. Oh, not that one. That one. Alright, submit. Okay, so now this time it should have updated the status and the received at time. Excellent. See, received at, and the status is now received. And if we go to notes, we can see the IP address, where it came from, and we can also see, the information about the file that was uploaded. So guys, it's so powerful what you can do with this. Honestly, you can have a field here that says required by, and you can then set up a workflow that says if it's still received at is null and the status is still requested, then send another email every day until those things change, and you can literally get an automatic email sent out to them every day. Let me show you how to do that, because I think a lot of people would receive value from that. So we go to modules and fields, and we go to our requested documents. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We can just go straight into workflows, and we can create another rule. And this is on the requested documents one, and this is on date chase requested logs. Okay, we do need another field, guys. This is how I do it on my system. So I've got a next chase date. Okay. Okay, so now on the next chase date, we want to do it at the same time, and we want to do it once, and now we only want to do it if the status is requested, rejected, or partly accepted. Okay, and we also want to say if the yeah, that's it. Actually, that's all we want. So it'll keep chasing people if it's either of these statuses. And now we do email notification. We can create a new email notification. So this is document request chase email. Choose recipients. So remember, we're doing it based on the contact's email address. You can have your backup in here if you want it. Select email template. So we're going to create a new template. And here we want to just duplicate our other one. Chase documents, clone. Okay, so up here we're going to say action required. We are still waiting for you to upload your proof of address. Okay, perfect. I hope this finds you well. According to our records, we are still waiting for you to provide us with your document type. Please upload this document as soon as possible using the button below. And then we can delete this one and our extra space. There we go. All right, perfect. And save. Now bear in mind, if you had a field that said required by, then you could also put it in saying please send us this document before this date. There's literally so much you can do with this. So chase documents, save and associate, and then what we'd want to do is 1 hour after running this, we want to update that field. So we want to say next chase at, and then let's see here, next chase at execution day plus 23 hours, and then it'll chase them 24 hours after this chase email was sent. Save and associate, so update next chase at to 23 hours later. Save and associate. Save. Okay, so now to recap, we've got the requested documents. We've got the next chase date here. What we also need to do in this case is add the next chase date to our custom script when we make the record. So that's in the button. I know this is a bit all over the place, guys, but I'm trying to teach you something here that's pretty complicated and pretty versatile. So I hope you'll bear with me, and I hope you'll appreciate that I'm trying my best to you know, teach you all this in the most, you know, easy to follow way. But there's so much going on in my head, and there's so much I would love to be able to teach you, and if I could duplicate my system and make it available for you, I would. Okay, so this is next chase at, I think that might be a capital A. APIs and API names are your friend, guys. When you're writing custom scripts, always come here, because it really is it's worthwhile. So next chase at, yeah, see, it was capitalized. If I hadn't checked, that would not have updated anything. So next chase at. Okay, so let's see. Now let's make this one here, and we'll say date tomorrow equals current date time dot add so add 1 day to the date tomorrow, and then we want to say date tomorrow equals date tomorrow dot to string year, month, day, and then we want to say Zoho time tomorrow equals date tomorrow plus t plus current time, and that should give us the right format for the date and time tomorrow, 24 hours from now, basically. And then here, next chase at that, save. Let's check if this has worked. So we go to documents, delete this chappy. Oh, we're gonna hit an hour soon, guys. Okay, so Jack Jones, request proof of address. There we go, next chase at, boom, there we go. So it's going to send one now. There it is. Yeah, and if I don't do anything, then it's going to chase again and send that chase email tomorrow at 2:19 a.m. It's awesome. It's so incredible, honestly. And if we now submit the document, this will change to received. There we go, received. And now the workflow here won't run. Okay, so when you set up a blueprint to accept or reject documents, make sure that when you click reject or partly accept, that it sets this next chase time for 24 hours later. Because if this is in the past, then it'll never run again. Okay, but I could go on forever. I could literally talk about this for months. I could talk about the system. There's so much you can do. It is so versatile. It's so incredible. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've stuck with me to the end. Please like, please subscribe, please write in the comments and let me know if there's anything you want to know. I like making these videos. I really enjoy it, and I really hope that there's people out there who are getting some benefit from these videos. I think that you can really save yourself so much time for your business and your team, and you can make yourselves more professional and more efficient, and there's so many benefits to using the system properly. If you need any help with it, let me know. Comment down below and let me know if there's any other videos you want to see. Like and please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.